Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. It's me Anil and we are in the series of job portal and this is a part number 2. In previous video, that is part number 1, we have integrated the templates, bootstrap template inside our project, and we have also seen the contact us page where user can contact to the website owner or the admin. Okay, and it saved the data in our database. So in today's video we are going to see register and login. Okay, so for that we need to create a page for the register. Stop it, close it, go to solution explorer, right click on user, add, select web form with master page. Give the page name as register. Okay. Select the folder where master page is been located. Okay, this one. So our page has been created. Now for register we are going to create a form, design a form. Okay, and as we've already seen that we don't have any page for register and login in this booster template. Click on register, there is no page that it takes to that. Okay, so that's why we need to like create this both page from a scratch. Okay, so but in contact, like we have seen, there is one small form for contacting, right? So we are going to use that part and create a form for our register also. Okay, so let's take here section tag, go to contact page. Here, uh, start from row, but here in register.axps page, first of all we need to take container class inside a div. If you know bootstrap then you know that like it start from container, then all the rows and columns we have to take in it, inside it. Okay, so the class container I have taken here. So but I want like padding from top and some padding from bottom, so that's why I'm using here pt hyphen 50. So it will give us padding from top 50. Okay, and padding from bottom, let's say 40. Now we can use that row here, just select it from here till, yeah, Okay, let's check its closing tag where it is. Okay, this one starts here and this one. Okay, okay, just select from there till here, copy it, paste it here, then need to close one more div tag. Okay, remove this comment from tag and remove this also. Remove this comment. Okay, now we want label message here, label for displaying message. Okay, and title we need to change here. Sign up. Okay, we don't want this ID, so we'll remove here. So okay, we use this class. Okay, this is a class which has been made by the template owner. Okay, it's not a predefined bootstrap class. It's been made by the or defined by the boost like this template owner. Okay, who has designed this template. Okay, now copy this line and press enter after the this div tag and paste it. Close the div tag, enter. Now here inside that we are going to take one header tag which is at 6, and we'll take here text as login information. So inside the login information we are going to take text box. We are going to remove this text area. Okay, we can comment it out. Press shift and press Control K C. So it's been commented. Okay, now let's add text box from toolbox. Okay, before text box we are going to take one label for displaying the label text for this text box. Okay, like for which text box we are using this. So there is a tag layer, HTML tag label. Sorry, give the name as username. Now give that here ID name for the text box, txt username. Okay, and we want to use the class like here form control. Copy it, css class, paste it. and we want to use placeholder as well. Enter and a unique username. We are going to take here the username which should be unique for every user. Okay, so that's why we have given here a message inside the placeholder, enter unique username. Okay, uh, it's a required field, so here we'll going to take required attribute. Okay, so we have completed the username. Now we have to take for the password, then confirm password. Okay, that contains inside this login information. In login information, where you are going to take username, password, and confirm password, right? So here we need to comment this line. Okay, just copy this both line, the label and the text box, and paste it here. Instead of username, write password. Change the ID of the text box here, txt password. Change the placeholder, copy it, paste here, add here, confirm password. Okay. Okay. Txt confirm password. Okay. Hmm. Now we need to do here one thing, like when user enter password, it should be same. The same should be entered in confirm password. So we need to match both the password. For that, we are using .NET validator here. Compare validator. So we'll use after the text box, enter. So we'll use here compare validator. Let's give error message. Password and confirm password should be same. Okay, now control to compare to which field you want to compare the password. So we want to compare it from the first one, that is the password, that is the id of that txt password, and this require field validator where we are using for this id, for this text box, for the confirm password, right? So we'll give here control to validate is equals to txt confirm password. Okay, these both are two separate things. Like control to validate is being used for which control you want to use. I want to use for this control, that is txt confirm password. But here this one control to compare, for which control we want to compare this. Okay, we want to compare from the first one, that is txt password. Okay, save it. Let's move forward. Now after that, let's here for this here, we need to give some uh, uh, four color and some font size also. Let's give here four color is equals to red, so it should be in red, and display it dynamically. We don't, then set focus on error, make it true, font size give it small. Okay, save it now. Now here comment this line, we can remove also, we don't want that, so we'll remove all the comment. Okay, okay, now here what we want, we are going to take here like a text box for the name, full name. But for first one here we have taken here username. Now we are going to take the text box for the full name. Okay, I'm copying from here and paste it here. Instead of username, let's give full name, txt full name. But we are going to take this full name inside our personal details or personal information like the previous year. For this username, password, confirm password, we have taken inside the login information. Like that way we are going to take this full name, another like email and address, all these things we have to take. So for that we are going to take inside this personal information. Okay, paste it here. Now copy this div, paste it here. Like I said, after full name, we are going to take here this for the address, then for the mobile number, then email. Okay, so let's paste it three times, like two more. Okay, the first one, full name is been completed. Now second one, but second one we are going to take the address, but here inside this for the full name, like it should allow only text, only characters, not any digits or numbers. So that's why we need to take here required field, sorry, regular expression field validator. So it should validate the input value, regular expression validator. Okay, so let's change the error message first. Name must be in characters. Then let's copy this part till here and paste it. Okay, uh, but two more property like we have to give, that is validation expression. Now we have to provide here expression that that going to be validate the value coming from this text box txt full name. So the expression we are going to use here is shift 6. If you press, then this characters or special character will appear. Okay, then after that square bracket, inside that, like we are going to use small a to z, means a hyphen z and capital A hyphen capital Z. After that backslash s. Then after the square bracket plus then dollar. Okay, so this is the expression that will check for this email, sorry, for this the name, for the full name. Okay, and like for which uh, control we are using this regular expression validator. For that we want to use validate, control to validate. Just copy this id, paste it here. Okay, now the name has been complete. Now let's take for the address. id, placeholder, this is the address text box, so we are going to use here text mode equals to multi-line. Okay, now then mobile number, or you can say contact number, whatever you want. Txt mobile. Now again we have to take here a regular expression validator, like for the mobile number, that it should contain only 10 digits. Okay, so for that I am just copying the previous one and pasting it after this text box. Paste it here. Let's change the error message. Mobile number must have 10 digits. And the control to validate property we need to change. Okay, and here validation expression also we need to change. 0-9, remove the plus, and inside the opening and closing curly braces 10. So it will take from 0 to 9 digits, and total 10 digits it will going to take. Okay, and here it will take from small A to Z, which is in small letters as well as in capital letters. Then it will leave one space in between. Okay, like after the name, first name, that will take one space, then the last name or surname. Okay, like that way it will validate. Okay, for the name, and this is for the mobile number or contact number. Okay, now after that let's take here email. For email, in .NET in text mode property, there is already email is there, so it will validate accordingly. Okay, now we have to use one more control, drop down list control, for country, for which country the user is going to register. Okay, so remove this text box. I'm going to take here one drop down list. Let's rename the ID for this drop down list DDL country. Okay, for country, we are going to create a new table for that. Okay, because for this job portal, we are going to use this country in 2 or 3 pages. So we are going to take here just new table, a separate table for that. Okay, so our database name is job portal. So let's open that. Mm, okay, uh, new query, and it we have only one table. I think that is for contact. Yeah, so now we'll create a table for country. Create table country. So first one, we're going to take the uh, country ID, then country name. Okay, there will be only two columns for the country table. Okay, it should be integer, primary key, primary key, then identity should be 1, 1. Okay, then comma, another column, country name. Let's take it varchar 50. Okay, let's run it. So our table has been created. Now want to insert some uh, data to this table. I have already this having this country name, so I just have to execute. So it's been inserted in our table. So let's see, refresh it, country. Can see here country name India, United States, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, China, Brazil, Egypt, South Africa, Japan, Canada, Germany, Australia, Malaysia, Philippines. 15 countries is there. Okay, so we'll use this country inside our drop down list inside our register page. Okay, so open our Visual Studio. Now for getting the data from the database, let's take here one data source control. Here SQL data source. Okay, now let's go to design page. You can see here, yeah. So here select choose data source, that is SQL data source 1. Go to configure data source. Okay, right now we don't have any columns right here, so click on OK, and now go to configure data source. uh, the CS that we have used connection string in our web.config file, so we are going to use that. I'm going to use that CS. Okay, now can take this connection string, so can check the value for this connection string: data source, initial catalog, and integrated secretary. Okay, next, now select here table name, that is country. We want only country name here, so we'll select country name. Next, test query whether it's running properly. Yeah, so we are getting output here. Finish. Now edit items, add. So we have to add here one new list item. Give your text here. Select country. Okay. Now let's go to the source. Can see here the one list item select country is there, and let's give value to it. Value, let's say 0, because it's a like 0 on 0 index, so we'll uh, take here 0 for the value. Okay, then all the country value will come after this select country list. Okay, after this list item all the list of data for the country will appear. Now here for this drop down we have to use bootstrap class, right? Form control, and let's give here width 100. We are using this one, the first one at like 0 at 0 index. We are going to bind this data to the list. For that we have to add one more property here, then it will going to work for that. So that's that one is append data bound items equals to true. Now we are going to take value from this SQL data source control, right? For then, like we need to specify here like two things, that is data text field data text field and data value field. Here data text field here, that is the column name that we use here, country name, that will be our data text field. And in data value field we'll use the same because we didn't use the country ID column, so we'll use same for both attribute. Okay, data value field. Yes. Now we want to validate the drop down also whether it's been selected by the user or not. So for that we have to take here required field validator, because here this required keyword or attribute we have used inside this text box, so it will work for the text box, it will work but drop down it won't work. So for that we are going to take ASP.NET required field validator. Go to toolbox, go to the validation, then here require field validator. Let's change the error message. Countries required, then for color and layout. Let's copy it and paste it. Yeah. Okay. Now the main argument, the property like we have to use here for the drop down, that is initial value 0. The initial value is 0, that is for this one. Select country, the value is 0. It means starting when we run the page in our browser, at that time the drop down value is selected, the first one, the first value is been selected in our country drop down. Okay. Now here instead of btn send we have to take btn register. Okay, remove this on click event. Will create. So event has been created on the .cs page of register, and let's save it and then run it run it in browser. Press F5. Okay, when we use validation in our project, this errors comes, so we need to add for that. Okay, let's copy it, paste in new tab. We'll get a solution from Stack Overflow. Just copy this app settings, open your project, go to web.config file, paste it after connection string or just before connection string. It will work both of them. Okay, save it. Yes, it will close the running, and now run it again. Require fail validator 1. Okay, here. Okay, we didn't provide require control to validate. For which control we are using here, we didn't pass that. We are using for the real country, that is drop down list of country. Save it, refresh the browser page. Now it will work. Can see okay, but it came to one side, like place this control in the middle. Okay, for that okay, let's take it here 6 instead of 8. Save it, refresh the page here, browser page. Still okay. Now after take here margin X auto, save it. Now refresh the browser page. It comes in center, right? But the sign up, the title text, we have to make it center here. Text center. Save, refresh. So it came in center. Okay. So this first one is username, password, confirm password, then full name, address, mobile number, email, then country. In country, the all list of countries is being displayed, all 15 countries. Okay. Now if we click on register button, it asks for entering the username, like it's been required field. So that's why your password is required. Then confirm password. If I give wrong password here, then it will show me password and confirm password should be same, shouldn't match, right? So if we put 123, then the error message has been gone. Okay. Then full name. Register address is required. So here it asks mobile number. It should be 10 digits. If I put 11 digits, it show me that error. If I put only 9 digits, then also shows error. If it's 10, then it error will gone. Okay. Now email. Okay, so means all fields are working properly. Now on button click event we want to write the logic part, and after that but before that here we'll take here one new link for like the user who has already registered. We're going to provide here link for login. So let's add it first, that then we'll go to the logic part of this registers. Okay, so here we'll take one span tag, span, let's add class, click link, that let's check anchor tag here, inside anchor href. Right now we don't have any page for that, that is login page. So we're going to take afterward inside our user folder, and page name is login.axps. Okay, and the text for that will give it already register, click here. Okay, so this text will going to appear after the button, register button. Okay, so let's save it and refresh the browser. There is button but not able to see here. You can see here there is a link is there. Okay, so I have used here the class click link. So let's give css to this class inside our style sheet that we have inside our assets in cs folder. There is one style.css is there. Okay, so open that. Okay, all the code is in one line. Let's enter here, then select the below all, then press Ctrl K D, so it gets aligned. Now after that at top write this code that is for the class click link for the anchor tag, because we have used here anchor tag, right? And here's the class click link. Okay, for that color I have been used, font family, font weight, font size, and we are when we hover on it the color going to change. Okay, now save it. This save this page, the style page, save it. Okay, now open the Chrome browser where we run our project. Now refresh this page. Can see now there is link. Still not. Press shift. Press Control Shift R. So now it's been visible, right? when we hover on it, the color is being changed. But we want some space, from the button and the anchor tag. So we want some space in between. For that, let's add here margin right, save it for, save it, refresh it. Now it's better. So now just close it, and we'll see the logic part on button click event of register. Press F7, it will take us to the code behind page. Okay, now just go to the contact.axps.cs. From there we'll copy some code and paste it here just before the page load event. First import the namespace for this classes. Okay, now inside this button click event, let's take try and catch block. SQL exception. Okay, so inside the track block, we'll save the data inside our database. Okay, but for that, first we'll take some code from here. Let's copy it and paste it in try block. Okay, let's change it first. Like for this, instead of contact, we have, okay, for saving the data inside for the user, we didn't created any table. So first of all, we need to create a table for that inside our database. I'm just copying this code that we have used today and add it here. Then we have all the code that we have used inside our this project for the database and the tables. Okay, now let's create a table for the user. Okay, let's write query for creating the table. Create table, table name, user, and the first column is user ID, that is integer, primary key, identity 1 comma 1 comma second column, that is username. Let's give it varchar 50 comma third column, that is the password. Varchar 50 after password, name, email, then mobile, tenth grade, like marks for the 10th standard. Okay, then 12th 12th grade, graduation grade, post graduation grade, PhD, works on experience, resume, address. Instead of 50, we'll take here max, and the last column is country. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16, 16 columns we have taken for this table user. Okay, so let's create it. Execute. Showing the incorrect syntax near the keyword user. User is already, I think, a system keyword for this SQL Server Management Studio. So that's why it's not allowing us to take the table name as user. Okay, we didn't change here the database, like we are working on job portal, right? So select the database, then execute it. So still shows error for the user keyword, like, so we have to take it inside the square bracket. Okay, now let's run and see. Execute. Now it's been created successfully. Okay, it's a system reserved keyword, so we can't use that, but we can use the same just by using inside the open and close square bracket. Okay, now if we refresh the tables, we'll able to see the new table user. Okay. Yeah. Now let's work on it. User. So here we need to add square bracket for the table user, otherwise it will give error. Okay. Now let's give the column name for which columns we are going to provide the values. Okay, because we are not going to use all the columns that is used inside the user table. Okay, we are going to provide some limited columns value here, like that is username, password, name, email address, mobile number, and country. That's it. And the rest of the columns we are not going to pass it now, but we'll use it afterward. Okay, so the first one, that is username. Okay, let's open this one. Yeah, username, or then password, comma, paste, comma, name, paste, comma, then after name address is there, copy, paste, after address mobile number is there, that is mobile, copy, paste. Then after mobile, email is there, comma, country. Okay, so let's copy it again and paste it here. Let's add @ symbol just in front of every column name. Or you want whatever name, you can pass it here, only here, not here. And here the actual column name that we have passed or used in our table will come here. Okay, and here you can use whatever you want. Okay, now here, mm, the first one is username, then password, name, address. Okay, so the first one will use here for the username, that is txt username dot text dot tree. Okay, and now password, txt password, let's say here confirm password, because after matching the password uh, inside our confirm password, then we are going to like say what the correct password is there. Okay, so that's why we are using here the second one, that is txt confirm password dot text dot tree. Okay, for the name, txt full name, I think, yeah, full name dot text. For the address, txt address dot text dot read. So still we have to use this for mobile, email and country. 1 2 3, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Now here, instead of txt address, let's take txt mobile, txt email. The last one is txt okay, it's not text box. For the country, it's a drop down. So for that, ddl country dot selected value. Okay, so when it's been successfully inserted, will display successful message here. Registered successfully or successful, whatever. Okay, then okay, here cannot is okay. So we'll create this method txt username dot text is equals to string dot empty. So how many fields we have here for the username? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Countries different one, so 6, and one we have already taken, so 5 we have to take. So after the username txt uh, address, then txt email, txt mobile number. Okay, then one thing, txt name, txt, that is full name. Okay, the last one, that is what we have left, password. Okay, the password, we have to txt password, um, let's read one more time, that is for txt confirm password. Okay, now the last one is for the drop down list dot clear selection. So it will uh, clear the selection of the value for the drop down country. Whatever the value has been selected in the country drop down list, it will clear it. Okay, so it will be selected only select country, the first list item of the drop down. Okay, save it. Now here it will check if ex dot message, not number, message contains, dot contains violation of unique key constraint you have to write as it is for that I have here written violation of unique key constraint, because this message is being generated while executing this insert statement in our database, and it gets some SQL error. Then at that time, like if we use unique like we are going to use the username, that is the column username, we will going to use a unique for that. So it will check the previous data, the username data, that is been same or not. If it is been same, then it will give or erase error, that is violation of unique key constraint. So we're going to handle here. Okay, but still we didn't add any unique key for this column username. Okay, so let's add that first. uh, Here let's add unique key for that. Mm, so let's alter this table. Now let's run and see. Now it's been run successfully. Okay, so our uh, unique key has been enabled for this username column. Okay, now you can save this file for the this query for the database and tables. You can save it. Okay, so it's been useful when you want to like use this project in some other PC or install or run that in other PC. At that time you can execute this query and will get your database back. Okay, now let's move here to the coding part. Yeah, if it check that the it finds any violation of unique key constraint, that it means the user is trying to enter the username which already present in your database. So we have to give a message here, like it's been already there, like that way. Okay, so we'll just copy this code and paste it here, and here we'll give some message like first one, txt username dot text dot string. So here username already exists, try new one. I want to display this the value for this username in bold. So for that I can use here bold tag of HTML. Okay, so open it here and close it after here. Okay, so the value for this txt username it should be in bold. Then after this text, normal text has been going to appear. Okay, now it's okay, well, fine. Now let's do for the exception. Let's copy it, paste it here, and here else condition, let's check and paste it here also. Here we have opened our connection. Now let's close it here inside the finally block on the close. Okay, now The execution part for this register has been completed. Let's run and see. Enter username. For the password, the password is visible. The user, we want to be hidden, like dot dot for the password. So let's do that first. Text mode is password. Copy that and paste it here also. Save it. Refresh it. Okay. Registered. So user has been registered successfully. Okay. Let's check in database. Can see here the first data has been inserted here. Okay, so that's mean our register page has been now working, and now let's check that if this username is already present. If I try to add the same username, okay, let's see whether it's allowing me or not. Register it. Okay, says been registered. Was that possible? Let's check. No, it's been not registered here. Okay, means only one record is there, and there is no second record. Let's debug it, then we'll come to know like what is going on. Add a breakpoint here on the button click event. Now let's give you a password. Register. Press F10, it will go forward. Okay. Okay, so it throws here exception here, and what's the exception here? Can see violation of unique key constraint. Okay. Okay, the constraint spelling is wrong. After n, I have to add here s. That's why it's not getting. Okay, let's add here yes. Then save it. Now press F10. It will. Okay, I have to stop it. Then I have to do it. Okay, stop it. Now done it. Now it's proper. So now it will like display the message. The username already exists. Okay, try new one. So it will show that message to the user. Can see here, and the username is in bold. Okay. Yeah, while showing this message, we didn't clear the fields. Okay, we left it as it is, but after successfully inserted or registered, then at that time we have cleared all the fields. Okay. Okay, now it's working properly. So in next video we'll see for the login page. Okay, and we'll going to link this both register and login page in here inside this button. Okay, so we'll see in the next video. Till then, bye, take care, thank you for watching.